A very warm welcome everyone to the Model Airport Review Grand Finale of Season 6 powered by Tradewings. Tonight, in about an hour, we will know who the winner is of Season 6 Model Airport Reviews. Please let me know in the chat if I'm audible, whether the music is too loud, too soft or good, and if there are any issues. And it seems like all is fine, so we'll immediately get started with the structure of today's livestream. Like I said, we had 8 episodes of airport reviews, in which each episode we review 20 model airports. Each episode, 3 grand finalists were chosen by you, meaning we had 24 grand finalists who got shrunk down to the last 16 through my latest YouTube video. That means we currently have 16 model airports who are going to compete in a 1v1 matchup, and you will be able to vote each round until we have 2 final airports who will fight in the grand finale for the winning spot. Here is an overview of all the airports and we'll slowly get through them all. So first I would like to show you today's tournament bracket. It's been randomly decided by AI that this is going to be the build-up of today's video. So you first have the round of 16 where you have 8 matchups. Then they get shrunk down, each winner progresses and go head to head in the next duel until we end up in the final all the way on the right of the bracket. Live voting will take place and I will share the live voting link now in the chat. Please vote and test whether it's all working fine. I put a test vote with Airbus and Boeing, so give me 1 second to put down the link in the chat. The link should now be in the chat and I'm trying to pin the link so you will be easily able to find it. There you go, I just pinned it and I see some votes rolling in, which means all should be fine now. Great to see that. That means we'll now go through all of these 16 airports that will be featured in today's episode. So we have a last 16. From 16 we go to 8. Then from 8 we go to 4. From 4 to 2, and from 2 we have a grand final where the winner will be decided. The first airport is Valhalla Airport in Oslo, Norway. A beautiful model airport featuring a bunch of Tradewings ground service equipment and airport buildings. Really realistic looking pictures. I'm a big fan of this airport myself, as there is so much going on and so much realism here. Next is London Heathrow Terminal 3, of course in London, the UK. On the top left you see the airport in its whole, and it's really cool to see how he added a construction site to the airport, as well as some snow, which you can see on the top right image. And also I like the use of paper ground service equipment and some Legos, which is a very cost-effective option. Bagnolet Airport is located in France and has this very unique terminal design with some moss on the roof. Incredible to see, and he also took some really cool images like the one on the bottom left where the Asiana Airlines A380 is on final to land on the runway. Next is Pang Airport in France as well. Another kind of similar airport to Bagnolet, but I really like once again the moss on the terminal roof, and also the lighting in the terminal is really nice to see. A great collection of model airplanes and a lot of airplane models on his airport on the top right image. Nova Scotia Airport is next in Halifax, Canada. An incredible model airport. On the bottom left, I really like how it lights up at night. Incredible work. Also cool to see the scenery around with a bunch of trees, greenery, and all the way on the back he has got a hill. Absolutely magnificent work on this model airport. Next is Santa Barbara Municipal Airport. It's a 1 to 200 scale airport in the United States, and it's really cool to see how, because the size of 1 to 200 scale is larger, he also used some more detail, like on the top right image you see the suitcases being loaded into the rear of the American Airlines CRJ. Snow Peak Airport is next. In Colorado we have the snow-covered airport, also with a lighting system which looks very nice at night, but for this airport the snow is what stands out to me and really looks nice. Thermare International, I hope I pronounced it well, is the next. A British model airport, really nice work and a great amount of ground service equipment to see on the top right image. And on the top left image I like that the KFC, Greg's and Spar shops are also on his airport. Really realistic and nice to see. Sydney International in Australia then, with of course a bunch of Qantas aircraft on the airport. At night it also lights up, as you can see on the right image. And overall a really neat model airport. Bonn Airport in Germany then. Another airport which lights up at night, and I like the detail of the taxiway signs that he added here. Also on the jet bridges are advertisements of his own airport, of Haribo, and also more brands. Really cool to see that. Sunhang International in Seoul, South Korea then. A really complete model airport. On the top two images there is so much going on. Many airplanes, ground service equipment, a lighting system not only in the ground but working floodlights as well. And also when you look on the top right image, on the left side of it you see a whole land site with cars and a cargo depot and so much going on. Just like in real life, really cool to see. Cologne Airport then in Germany of course. A nice German airport with a great collection of model aircraft of, for example, Lufthansa and Eurowings, unmissable on a German model airport. I really like the layout and the use of different tints of black and grey paint, which add a nice effect in the ground markings. Isla Dorada Airport is next. Located in the Caribbean, unmissable by the beautiful blue sea. Really nice recreation of the sea in combination with the palm trees. An excellent job on this model airport, and I think this one has a great chance to come very far in this final. I'm really getting the tropical vacation vibes of these images of his model airport. The 14th airport is Žilina Airport. And it's another really nice model airport with 3D printed buildings, like on the bottom right image the DHL cargo depot. A nice layout of the model airport. I like how he cut out the modeling grass here for the fuel depot and here for an emergency services department. I think really great work. The 15th airport is located in Vietnam, PNT International Airport. It's an enormous model airport, 2 runways, multiple terminals, a lighting system and so much space for model aircraft. He's got a nice collection of Vietnam Airlines aircraft on the bottom left image. Overall just so many aeroplanes. If you look on the top left image, all the way in the top of the image, he also has more aircraft displayed which don't fit on his model airport. Really cool to see. Bournemouth Airport then is the last airport to be featured in today's grand final. A British model airport with the Concorde featured on the bottom right image with also a car hire spot. It's cool to see this hangar with the Virgin Atlantic, Boeing 747 and also the image of the EasyJet and Ryanair does really good thanks to a lot of ground surface equipment and the 3D printed terminal in the background. Now that rounds up all of the 16 model airports that will be featured today, and we'll take a closer look at the bracket where we have the first matchup of Bagnolet Airport versus Santa Barbara Airport. I will now set up the voting system and go past both airports one by one really quickly. Then you will have about a minute to vote for your favorite, either Bagnolet or Santa Barbara, after which we will count the votes and see which airport progresses. So give me 1 second to set up the voting system. Alright, it's now set up and we'll have a quick look at both of the airports and then we'll start the votes. The first airport being Santa Barbara Airport. The 1 to 200 scale airport with really nice details and a great terminal design. Really nice work. And it's competing against Bagnolet Airport, which is located in France with moss on the terminal and a lighting system inside. I'm going to open the votes right now. And you should be able to vote for either of the two model airports. Give me 1 second because it seems like this is not working, even though it should. There we go. Now you will be able to vote. Is it Santa Barbara or Bagnolet Airport who progresses to the next round? Cast your vote through the link in the chat and in about 30 seconds we'll see who progresses, and it's a really neck and neck race now, with Santa Barbara taking a tight lead, but I believe there are yet more people to cast their vote. And Santa Barbara is taking a huge lead now, and I am almost sure that Bagnolet is not going to recover from this, unfortunately. The gap just keeps increasing with almost 40 votes for Santa Barbara and 21 for Bagnolet. And we'll give it 10 more seconds until the final voting call will be given and we'll count the votes. But I think we're quite sure that it's going to be Santa Barbara who progresses to the next round. I will quickly update this in the bracket. We had 40 votes for Santa Barbara. And 24 votes for Bagnolet. There we go. It's updated, meaning Santa Barbara progresses to the next round, and unfortunately Bagnolet Airport we leave behind here. Next up, London Heathrow versus Pang Airport. First of all, London Heathrow Airport, which we can find here. London Heathrow Airport with the iconic London Heathrow ATC tower, a cool construction site, a bunch of detail, a lighting system and snow. It competes against Pang Airport. Another really nice model airport. I'm a big fan of the terminal design with the moss on top and lighting system inside, a bunch of aircraft models on the model airport. I think this is gonna be a neck and neck race. I'm going to set up the voting system again and then we'll get started with the votes. And there we go, you will now be able to vote for either of the two model airports through the link in chat. Is it gonna be London Heathrow or Pang Airport to progress to the next round? Through the link in chat, cast your vote. And it's a big lead now for London Heathrow, but I'm sure Pang is going to catch up at some point. But I am pretty sure that this is a played game, with London Heathrow taking 35 votes more than Pang Airport. So I'm going to give it 15 more seconds to make sure everybody is going to be able to cast their vote, but I think it's a played game. And there we go. It's 46-23, meaning that we unfortunately not have Pang pursue, but London Heathrow goes through to the next round. We'll update it into the bracket. 47-23 it is. And when I refresh then, you see that we have a next airport into the top 8, London Heathrow, congratulations. We'll now continue on to the next matchup, Žilina Airport against Isla Dorada. Žilina Airport, to start with, located in Goleta. And it's a really neat model airport. Like I said, the cargo depot with DHL is really nice to see. The AN225 is iconic in front of there. It's a really neat model airport thanks to the nicely cut modeling grass, neat ground parkings, and overall a nice looking model airport. It's competing against Isla Dorada, the very tropical model airport with the palm trees and really blue sea. Exactly the idea that you get when you think of a nice summer vacation, at least in my opinion. Let's set up the votes and see what your opinion is. Isla Dorada or Žilina Airport? You will now be able to vote through the link in chat for your favorite, Žilina or Isla Dorada, with Isla Dorada taking the lead right off the bat with 7/3 votes. So go to the link in chat and cast your vote. And we have a huge lead now for Isla Dorada Airport with 15 more votes. But I'm sure not that yet everybody has voted. So go to the link in chat and cast your vote. And it's a really neck-and-neck race now. So let it run for 20 more seconds. To give everyone a fair chance. 15 more seconds. But I think it's about 70 people here actively voting. So we'll call it 42-31 in favor of Isla Dorada Airport. Meaning, unfortunately, Celina Airport leaves us behind here. When we take a look at the bracket, this is then what it looks like, with Isla Dorada being the next airport progressing to the last 8 airports. And the next matchup is going to be Sunhang International versus Nova Scotia Airport. So let's take a closer look at both of the two, starting with Sunhang International Airport located in South Korea. What I said is that it's a really complete looking model airport with a light system, both in the ground on the right nicely visible and also with floodlights, a bunch of ground service equipment and a nice land side on the airport. Nova Scotia Airport then is located in Canada. Really cool airport as well with a same nice lighting system, scenery with a bunch of trees and a hill, nice background, and overall another fantastic model airport. I don't really know who to choose of these two. Both incredible. But it's up to you now. I'm going to set up the votes and you will be able to choose. And there we go. Be sure to cast your vote through the link in chat on either Sunhang International or Nova Scotia Airport. And Nova Scotia is taking a lead, but Sunhang is also getting a bunch of votes. I'm going to let this run for quite a time because I think it's gonna be very close like I already expected. And Nova Scotia keeps having a slight lead over Sunhang and it's building now. So go to the link in chat and cast your votes. And it's still Nova Scotia in the lead with Sunhang with 25 votes and Nova Scotia 40. 20 more seconds to give it a chance, but I think Nova Scotia will keep on having the lead and taking the W. And that's quite clear now. We'll update it in the bracket with Nova Scotia 41 and Sunhang 30 votes. Congratulations to Nova Scotia for this victory. I think this was one of the closest matchups of today's live stream. But maybe some more will follow. It's currently 46-38, so we'll just fill in that. Be sure to submit your votes quickly, as we'll not run it for an endless amount of time. And there we have Nova Scotia progressing to the next round. It will compete against Isla Dorada Airport and unfortunately Sunhang, an incredible model airport, but not enough to contend in the next round. Next up, Snow Peak Airport against Cologne International. Snow Peak we have here in Colorado, of course covered in snow like the name says. Also a cool lighting system, a really unique model airport in my opinion. A nice Nice work on the snow, on the winter setting. Excellent work. Also contending against Cologne Airport in Germany. Another nice model airport, like I said, nice use of the different tints of grey and black in the ground markings. A great model airport with nice German Lufthansa and Eurowings aircraft. We'll set up the voting system now and I'll let you cast your vote in a second. So be sure to go to the link in chat already and you will be able to cast your vote now. Is it gonna be Cologne or Snow Peak International? In the chat I see some big support for the both of them, but Cologne is taking a big lead in the start. But I'm sure there are gonna be more people for Snow Peak, even though Cologne keeps on getting more votes, so I'm really curious to see how this will look in about 30 seconds. And it's still Cologne on a big lead. And I'm pretty sure Snow Peak isn't gonna recover from 57 over 21 votes. Ten more seconds to see if a miracle appears, which probably, unfortunately for Snow Peak, won't do so. And that is it. We have 59 over 27 votes. I will update it. 59. 27. And when we then take a look at the bracket, this is what we see. Cologne progresses. Unfortunately, we leave behind Snow Peak Airport. And we go to the next matchup, Sydney against Thirlmere. Starting to take a look at both the airports, Sydney located in Australia with a bunch of Qantas aircraft, a nice lighting system to be seen on the right of the screen, a fantastic model airport, and it's competing against Thirlmere. I keep pronouncing it almost not very right. Located in England, really neat with the KFC, Greggs and Spar shops, a nice amount of ground service equipment, really realistic looking, but the same can be said about Sydney. So, again, go to the link in chat and cast your vote now. And Thirlmere is taking a lead from the start, but Sydney is getting some great support in the chat. Thirlmere with 20 over 4 votes, so and the support for Thirlmere is also pretty big. 50 over 15 votes. I'm gonna let it run for 20 more seconds, but I'm pretty sure it's a played game. Unfortunately for Sydney International, who did an incredible job on their model airport. With 21 over 67 votes, Thirlmere wins this one. And when we take a look at the bracket, we then see that this is the current state, with Cologne being the next rival of Thirlmere. Next up, PNT International against Bonn Airport. Let's take a closer look at both of the two. Starting with PNT Airport located in Vietnam. This enormous model airport with so many terminals, so many model airplanes, a great lighting system, and also in the back of the airport, seen here, even more models. Really nice, really good looking. It's competing against Bonn Airport, located in Germany, with great advertisements on the jet bridges, a lighting system in the runway and taxiways, and I like the looks of the taxiway signs. I'm going to set up the voting system and you're now going to decide which one you're voting for. And you're now able to vote on either PNT or Bonn Airport. Through the link in chat, be sure to cast your vote. And it's a lead for PNT off the start, but Bonn is actually leading now with 10/7 votes. The support for PNT is great in the chat and it's a neck-and-neck race, so we'll let it run for a bit longer to give everybody a fair chance to cast their vote. But it's Bonn with about 7 more votes now, but PNT keeps catching up. So be sure to cast your vote through the link in chat. And in about 20 seconds, we'll close it off and we'll see who the winner is. PNT is getting such more support in the chat, but Bonn Airport keeps getting more votes. With almost 70 votes now for Bonn, they just keep on coming in. We'll close it off now with 80 votes for Bonn and 51 votes for PNT Model Airport. Meaning the bracket looks like this. With Bonn Airport progressing, which was a neck-and-neck race, but the lead of Bonn kept growing while PNT stopped. We're up to the next and the final matchup of the last 16, Bournemouth against Valhalla Airport. Let's take a closer look at both of the two, starting with Bournemouth. In the UK, a really nice British model airport featuring, of course, the Concorde on the bottom right image. A really nice setup with the EasyJet and Ryanair aircraft. I like the looks of the terminal and fuel depot in the background. Overall, a really neat looking model airport. The same can be said about Valhalla Airport. Located in Norway, it's a fantastic model airport with so many things happening, great use of the Tradewings ground service equipment with a bunch of ground personnel and passengers walking around the apron. So either Valhalla or Bournemouth progresses to the last 8. I'm going to set up the voting system again so you'll be able to vote. And there we go. Cast your votes now. Valhalla or Bournemouth Airport. In the chat, Valhalla is getting more support, but Bournemouth is also getting the votes. But Valhalla takes a lead of 15 more votes now. Let it run for a bit longer, but I think we have a clear lead now. And the lead keeps on getting bigger. Though Bournemouth is getting the votes, it's not keeping up with Valhalla. Ten more seconds, cast your votes through the link in chat with so many people supporting Valhalla. 5, 4, 3, 2, won, and it's 64-44 in favor of Valhalla Airport, meaning that that's the last airport contending in the final 8. The bracket now looks like this. Unfortunately, Bournemouth had to go, meaning we're left with Santa Barbara, London Heathrow, Isla Dorada, Nova Scotia, Cologne, Thurmere, Bonn Airport and Valhalla Airport. We'll now go to the next matchups with Santa Barbara versus London Heathrow. Again, we'll take a look at both two airports, and you'll be able to cast your votes through the link in chat to see which airport will progress to the quarterfinals. Starting with taking a look at Santa Barbara Airport. Located in the United States, it's a 1:200 scale model airport, meaning the airplanes are bigger and there is more space for detail. He has excellently done that by adding suitcases on the belt loader on the top right image, and I also like the spotting terrace that he added on the terminal with people sitting and staring at the planes. It's competing against London Heathrow. Terminal 3. A really nice recreation with the iconic London Heathrow ATC tower, a great display of the models thanks to a great amount of ground service equipment, and what he has really nicely done was build a construction site, which you can see on the top left image. And now go to the link in chat because you're able to vote for either Santa Barbara or London Heathrow Airport, with London Heathrow getting big support in the chat. And also seen in the voting, London Heathrow is getting more of the votes. And not a little bit. So many more people think London Heathrow deserves a spot in the quarterfinals. I'm gonna let it run for 20 more seconds to let all Santa Barbara enthusiasts cast their vote, but I'm pretty sure this game is once again played and London Heathrow will progress. And we'll call it 77-16 in favor of London Heathrow, meaning that the first quarterfinal contender we know is London Heathrow Terminal 3. Unfortunately for Santa Barbara, I really like your model airport, but you have to leave us behind on the last 8. The next matchup then, Isla Dorada International versus Nova Scotia. Both excellent model airports and again a really tight matchup to be. Let's take a closer look at both of them, starting with Isla Dorada Airport. Located in the Caribbean, of course with the palm trees and the beautiful blue sea. A regional airport bringing passengers from mainland USA to the Caribbean, seen with the Delta, Southwest and JetBlue aircraft. Excellent work, nice modeling, great scenery, great airport. Nova Scotia then. The airport in Canada, Halifax, fantastic with the night lighting. Also fantastic scenery, just like Isla Dorada. I like the background that he added. Overall, a really neat model airport. Complete, I got nothing to add really. I will now set up the voting system and you will choose either one of these two airports. So through the link in chat, you will now be able to vote, and Nova Scotia is rushing off with a lead with 11 votes over 4 for Isla Dorada. I will let it run for about 40 seconds and then we'll call it a played game, but it looks like Nova Scotia is taking so much more votes. And also in the chat, Nova Scotia is getting the big support. I think Isla Dorada deserves a bit more for the beautiful blue sea, palm trees and tropical vibe, but Nova Scotia has over 40 more votes. 50 more votes now. "20 more seconds, but I think we all know who goes to the next round, unfortunately for Isla Dorada Airport. We'll call it 89-17 in favor of Nova Scotia. 89-17, which means unfortunately for Isla Dorada, we leave it behind in the last 8. And the bracket now will look like this, with 2 of the 4 quarter finalists known: London Heathrow and Nova Scotia. Meaning that the next round will be Cologne versus Thirlmere. Let's take a closer look at the both of them. Starting with Cologne. Located in Germany, a really neat model airport with, like I said, nice details of the paint, the German airlines, also nice ground service equipment and terminal buildings of course. Overall a really complete model airport. It's competing against Thirlmere Airport in the UK. With the KFC, Greggs and Spar shops, the nice use of ground service equipment also here. On the bottom right image you also see this military section, some private general aviation aircraft. Overall, a really British looking model airport in my opinion. Thirlmere or Cologne, you are going to choose in a second, as voting is possible from now. Be sure to cast your vote, with Thirlmere taking a slight lead in the beginning already. But I agree that this decision is very difficult. Are you going to vote for the KFC, Greggs and Spar, or for the beautiful complete German model airport? And it's Thirlmere taking a lead off with 15 more votes. But Cologne is catching up, so we'll let it run for 30 more seconds to see everybody, to give everybody the chance to cast their vote through the link in chat. Go to the voting page and cast your vote. Choose either one of the model airports that you just saw. And I think that Thirlmere won't be caught up by Cologne again. 10 more seconds. And Thirlmere just keeps getting more votes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations Thirlmere, 56-37. Unfortunately for Cologne, we leave the German airport behind in the last 8. And Thirlmere progresses to the quarterfinals, meaning that the bracket now looks like this, with 3 of the 4 quarterfinalists now known. Actually, this is already the whole final. I am already the whole final. We're in the quarterfinals now, my bad. But either way, we have 3 of the 4 of the half finalists known now. Meaning that we have 2 more airports that have to compete for this one spot to compete against Thirlmere. Either Bonn or Valhalla Airport. Let's take a closer look at both of them. Starting with Bonn Airport. Located in Germany, this is a really nice German airport, of course, with the advertisements on the jet bridges, taxiway lights, signs. Also, this Haribo Goldbaden aircraft cannot miss on any German airport. Overall, really nice work. And the same can be said again about Valhalla Airport. Fantastic, complete looking model airport. Nice pictures, nice scenery. Overall, fantastic looking. Let me set up the voting system right now. And now you will be able to cast your votes for either Bonn or Valhalla Airport. Valhalla is getting some nice support in the chat, but Bonn Airport is actually taking a lead over Valhalla Airport with 15 against 12 votes. And it's clearly visible that Valhalla is getting more support in the chat, which is actually to be seen now in the votes because Valhalla is taking a lead with 7 more votes. This is going to be a really tight one. Cast your votes through the link in chat and decide whether Bonn or Valhalla progresses to the half final of Airport Review's Grand Finale. And I think it's gonna be a late game for Valhalla, but I'm really not sure. So I'm going to count down from 15. And when I'm at 1, it's hold on and you decide who progresses. 15, 14, 13, 12, 10. We cannot end up in a tie. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 76, 72. In favor of Bonn Airport. Incredible to see this neck and neck race. 76-82 is what we said. Meaning I can congratulate Bonn Airport, and Valhalla Airport story unfortunately ends in the quarterfinal. When we take a look at the bracket, this is what we see. And we have the half finals ready. And I really understand all of the comments that are in the chat right now. But the half finals have been decided with London Heathrow and Nova Scotia competing against Thulmere and Bonn Airport. And I understand that you say rigged, but I believe that you can per device only vote once. Meaning, yes, you can vote with 2 phones and a tablet and cast 3 votes. But I don't believe that will make the difference between this big of a voting system. Because there are over 150 people casting their votes. So I will continue with the half finals, starting off with London Heathrow against Nova Scotia. Let's take a closer look at both of the 2 model airports, starting with London Heathrow. Located in London, we've already seen it quite some time now, quite multiple times now in this live stream. I'm not going to comment much on it, except for the fact that it's a really nice representation of the actual London Heathrow Airport. Fantastic work. And it's competing against Nova Scotia Airport. Located in Canada. I already commented on it really multiple times, as much times as I commented about London Heathrow Airport. So make your own choice for either of the 2 model airports. And I will now set up the voting for this round. London Heathrow or Nova Scotia. And there we go. Cast your vote through the link in chat for either London Heathrow or Nova Scotia, with Nova Scotia getting some support, but London Heathrow as well in the chat, and it's taking a huge lead with 13 over 10 votes. But now all the votes kept coming in, and it's a neck and neck race. Nova Scotia... No, actually London Heathrow is taking the lead now with 32 over 29 votes. But it's a neck and neck race, and we'll let this run for a bit longer to give everybody a fair chance to cast their vote. 4 more votes now for London Heathrow, but I'm pretty sure not yet everybody has casted their vote. We have 5 more votes now, but it's not yet a played game, so go to the link in chat and cast your vote. Nova Scotia took a tiny lead. 44-44 now. Just like in the previous round, I'm going to count down from 15 and I'm going to stop at 0 and then see where we're standing. 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to Nova Scotia. 57 votes, 51 votes for London Heathrow. 57-51. What a close matchup this was. Nova Scotia took the lead, but it could have as well been London Heathrow were your opinions a little bit different. Wow, almost 50-50 here. Thank you all for voting and having such a nice matchup, and congratulations, because the first finalist we now know is Nova Scotia Airport, as you can see in the updated bracket right here. Wow, what a matchup. Next, we'll have a look at Thirlmere against Bonn Airport. Let's take a closer look at both of the airports, starting with Thirlmere, located in England. No more comments from me, only looking from your side and making your own opinion about the model airport. It will be competing against Bonn Airport, located in Germany. Once again, no comments from me. You make your own story about the airport, and we'll see, once the voting starts, or which one of the two you like more. Either Thirlmere or Bonn. I'm setting up the voting system right now. And from now on, you're able to vote for either Thirlmere or Bonn Airport, with Thirlmere getting big support in the chat, and also through the voting we see that Thirlmere is taking the lead, though Bonn is getting some more votes, and it's a neck and neck race, but Thirlmere has the lead now. 50 votes for them. I'm going to cut this one off a bit earlier, as we already have more votes than the previous half final had. Like I said, multiple devices can mean you can vote more, so if I give you too much time, you can indeed get a kind of rigged result. But I think we have a clear winner, with Thirlmere having 71 over 55 votes. 71-55 in favor of Thirlmere. Congratulations to you, and unfortunately for Bonn, you got a really long way. But the people decided that 71 votes for Thirlmere and 51, we said, for Bonn means that the final two airports are known. Nova Scotia against Thulmir Airport are the final two airports, and either of them, you decide, will be crowned Season 6 Model Airport Reviews powered by Tradewings champion. Same story like all of the previous matchups. Take a closer look at both of the airports. I open up the voting and you cast your vote. Let me already set up the voting link so I don't have to do that later. There we go. So, let's take a closer look at the two airports, starting with Nova Scotia Airport in Canada. No more comments from me, just looking for you. 20 seconds you will get to have a very nice look at this model airport. And then we'll also give you some time to take a look at Thulmir Airport, the British model airport. My subjective opinion, I really don't know. Both incredible model airports. One more look. One more look. Voting will start in 3, 2, 1. There we go. And Nova Scotia is getting big support in the chat, but Thulmir is getting support as well. And Nova Scotia is taking the lead with 20 votes over 14, but not yet everybody has voted. So go to the link in chat, cast your vote for either of the two airports you've just seen, and one of them, in about a minute's time, will be crowned winner of Season 6 Model Airport Reviews powered by Tradewings. And Nova Scotia is taking quite a big lead now, and like we've seen in today's episode, in today's live stream, that lead can be taken back by Thulmir. But we have quite a big advantage for Nova Scotia. 20 more seconds. The last 20 seconds of Season 6 Model Airport Reviews. I think I know who the winner is gonna be. But 10 more seconds. We'll give it 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to Nova Scotia Airport on becoming the winner of Season 6 Model Airport Reviews, powered by Tradewings. What an incredible run this was. We'll call it 79-74, which is how it is now. 79-74. And Thulmir, you had an incredible looking model airport, we can all agree. Unfortunately, it was just a tiny bit not good enough. And Nova Scotia took it and wins Model Airport Review Season 6. Let me check your reactions in the live chat. Let's see there. What do you think about it? Nova Scotia, KFC is gone. Yes, unfortunately it is. And Nova Scotia took the win. Congratulations indeed. Bonn is rigged. I see where you base that on. And that means, yes, Valhalla could have taken a further step into the race. But please, guys, keep it kind in the chat, as the winner of Nova Scotia has been decided. And a quick word from the sponsor who provided this whole series. You probably already heard the name once or twice in this live stream and also saw it on my channel, but TradeWings is providing support for Model Airport Reviews Season 6. They create incredible 3D printed airport ground service equipment in both the 1-400 and 1-500 scales. Next to a bunch of ground service vehicles, they also build airport buildings and airport accessories, terminals, ATC towers, hangars, also visitor terrace, train station, really anything you can think of. And more products are going to be released soon. They are also selling Herpa Wings 1-500 scale aircraft models, which you can also buy on the site. They sell bundles, which are really handy for people starting to build a model airport. Quick issue with the sound there. That about TradeWings, and as you can see on the middle top of the screen, UK customers via eBay. And that's it for today's video. Nova Scotia, congratulations from me once again. And we have quite some mixed reactions in the chat. If you have any more questions for me, I will stay online for 2 or 3 more minutes to answer your questions regarding new videos, information updates, anything you want to hear. And otherwise, I'm going to call it a night. So comment if you have any questions for me. A short Q&A will do. Any questions? When is the next season? Kind of the question I was expecting. For now, I cannot give you any information about it. For the summer period, I have some really cool projects and videos coming up, in which I explain how you build a model airport and add certain details like a lighting system to it, both in the ground and with floodlights. That's one video. I'm also planning on making more of plane spotting, airport updates and stop motion videos. So that's it for the summer, and after the summer will end in about October. We'll have all of those videos online. You will know how to build the best model airport. You will be entertained by some very funny, creative and exciting videos where things happen on my model airport which you won't expect. And then we'll start with another season of model airport reviews probably. Can you do a video where you go to the Aviation Megastore? It's around the corner for me, and because I live in Amsterdam. So maybe you guessed one of the videos that is coming up. Spamming a question of who won season 6 last episode of the 20. I can check for you, but I think that was announced on Instagram. So yes, you can check it on Instagram. Where did I get my SAS model from? Aviation Megastore. When will you do another how to build an airport tutorial? Really soon. 020 mentioned. Zeker. How do I get a model aircraft in Colombia? Check on eBay. Check on Google and see whether there are resellers in your country, nearby countries who offer relatively good cheap shipment to your place. Where did you get your Aero Mexico from? That was the Aircraft Model Store UK. I didn't post. Alright, I will check for you now. Because it should be somewhere in my database. That were Bournemouth, Pang, and London Heathrow Terminal 5A. You can see that here. That were the results. So thank you all for attending this live stream. Big love for everybody who stayed till the end. Stay tuned for all the new videos coming up this summer, and after the summer stay tuned for all the updates to register your airport for season 7 model airport reviews. In the meantime, please consider to like and subscribe to my channel, and like I said, see you